You are listening to the Life Coach School podcast with Brooke Castillo, episode number 420.
Welcome to the Life Coach School podcast, where it's all about real clients, real problems, and real coaching. And now, your host, Master Coach Instructor, Brooke Castillo.
Hello, my friends. How are you today? I'm feeling especially amazing. I bought a new pair of Louboutins. They're insane. Pair of heels with the red bottoms. You know what I'm saying? They're actually comfortable. Just having a moment, having a style moment right now. It's amazing how the little things are so delightful. I have a special announcement to make. I want to talk to you all about the tools that I've created and the tools that I use in my life and the opportunity you have to learn these tools. And I'll tell you the story of how this all came to be. As many of you know, I am in the middle of creating a reinvention on myself. And as I go through this process of reinventing myself, I decided to bring many of you along for the journey. So many of you have joined me in the class of reinvention, and you are reinventing yourselves. And what's been going on is the first part of reinvention is really just looking at what already is and really understanding our own identities and what we're creating and what's working and what's good and what our winning strategies are. And as we bring this stuff up to question it, we often feel unmoored and discombobulated and uncomfortable. And that is what has been going on for me the past several months, I would say, and it's what's going on with my students. They are probably, maybe 3 weeks behind me in this process. So as we go through this reinvention and we're kind of shaking things up and doing things that none of us have ever done before, as we move into the next phase, there's like 3 phases of this process. The next phase is really understanding the realm of possibility and what is possible for us that maybe we hadn't considered before. And what are the things that we don't know? And what are the thoughts that we haven't even known to think yet? That's what we're about to start doing. Well, I personally have been working on this with the reinvention of my business. As many of you know, my business has 2 main products. It has self-coaching scholars and it has certification. And for the past 3 to 4 years, we have really not changed anything in those programs in terms of how they're offered, how they're sold, how they're delivered. They are exceptional programs that have been amazing for our students, amazing for our clients, and amazing for me and my company. But as I'm going through this reinvention, there's a lot of things that I wanted to reconsider. And so as I kind of pulled up everything that I've done in my business, I started to question the way that I was selling things and the way that I was delivering things. And I'm always asking the question, how can I do better? But this is even a bigger question. When you do a reinvention, you're not like, well, how do I take what I already have and just make it better? We often say, how do I take what I already have and reinvent it? And that is what I have done with self-coaching scholars. And the process of selling self-coaching scholars has been a delight. And it has been amazing to be able to test lots of different ways to help people get into scholars and experience it. And one of the things that we've always said is once someone experiences self-coaching scholars and they see the value that's in there, they will recognize that there is nowhere else literally on the internet in the coaching industry where you can get this much for this amount of money. And so I went through all of what we offer in self-coaching scholars with this reinvention lens. And as I was going through this, I was looking at what is offered in there. And what I hadn't realized is that I go in there and teach and coach, but I don't go in there as a consumer anymore. I don't go in there as a student anymore, right? Because I'm the one teaching it. And so I reapproached it with a new lens and went into self-coaching scholars. And what is so crazy about this experience is that I actually blew my own mind with what we are offering inside of that program. And so I decided that one of the things that I wanted to do was to understand all the tools that I teach, all the classes that I teach in there, and to offer them individually through a sales funnel. So, for example, one of the classes that I teach, and this is very instructive for those of you who have businesses, okay? For all of the classes that I teach, there's tools within those classes that can be applied to your life. So there are people that come into Self-Coaching Scholars whom I never will meet, and their lives are completely unrecognizable because they have taken all of the courses in there and they have gotten the coaching from in there and they have transformed their lives. And I will tell you, as a coach, that is the most extraordinary offering that I could offer the world, is to be able to have a program that transforms someone's life. And I've never even met them. I don't even have to be in their world in person, because that's when you can scale and that's when you have a large reach. So for example, one of the courses that I have inside of Self-Coaching Scholars is called the Possibility Formula. And that course is based on the book that I wrote called What's Possible. And the first half of that book is all about the 10 things that smart women know, that extraordinarily successful women know when it comes to business. And each one of those belief systems that extraordinarily smart women know, I have a chapter on it. And then I also taught a class on it, on each one of those inside of Self-Coaching Scholars. And we did coaching on it, and we did a whole coach week on it. The second half of the book is the Possibility Formula, which is really how you apply those 10 truths and take action with those 10 truths and produce results. The Possibility Formula class and the book, What's Possible, is the latest of what I have taught. It's the newest class that I've taught within Scholars, and it's probably the one I'm most proud of because it is informed from a very extraordinary level of success in my own right. And so I wanted to take that course and all of the other courses within Scholars and offer them individually. So for example, you can now go to my website and simply buy the Possibility Formula for $297. You can get that entire course. And it's a ridiculous bargain at that price because most people sell courses at this level at probably either $12.99 or $19.99. I could easily do a funnel and sell that course at that price, but I've decided not to do that. I'm offering it $297. And let me tell you the business reason why I'm doing that. If I sell the Possibility Formula at $297, I can say to someone that wants to buy that course, I can say, you can have this course and you can pay $297 one time, and I will deliver this course in its entirety to you. Or if you would prefer, you can get this course and every other course that I've taught and a weekly private coaching call and daily group coaching classes and calls for the exact same price. Now, truth be told, some people just want the course. They just want to pay their $297 and they don't want the rest of it. And that's a beautiful thing. And I will happily sell it to them. But for people to understand the value of what they're getting, I will sell them on the value of the Possibility Formula, but then I will also sell them on the value that they could get in Scholars for the same price. So they could join Scholars and get, for the same price for 1 month, for 30 days, they could take that course and get private coaching to help support them in that course. They could also get group coaching. They could also ask a coach. They could witness other people being coached if they don't feel comfortable being coached in a group. There's just so many other options. So what I did is I went in there and I took all of these courses and I took them out and separated them out individually into their respective single courses. Right now, they're all within Scholars and they're all within the study vault. So all of you who are in Scholars already have access to all these beautiful courses. But I'm also now offering them individually for people who may not know about me and people who may not understand Scholars and may feel like it's a lot when they don't understand it. They just want the one course. And the other thing that I did, and this is really important to understand from a business perspective, is when someone buys the possibility formula and they go in and they start to learn from the course and they start understanding what I'm teaching in there, they may want more. And so within that course, they also have the ability to upgrade to self-coaching scholars for no additional money. They've already paid the $297. So they can simply click a button and they will be upgraded into the monthly membership, having paid their first months of dues. As I was going through this, I wanted to share with you all, first of all, I wanted to announce that you can now buy the courses individually. I wanted to share with you my business philosophy, my marketing approach to this, because for those of you who are in business, I think this is something that you could consider doing in your own business. This is giving people kind of a taste of what's inside. So the courses that I'm now offering individually on my site are the Possibility Formula, which I just explained to you what that is. The next one is How to Entrepreneur. And this is a course I taught live in Scholars that teaches someone who's interested in becoming an entrepreneur how to become an entrepreneur. And this is a series of videos of me teaching all of my ideas, telling my stories, explaining my tactics on some very basic things that you need to know in order to become an entrepreneur. Now, I can see clearly that if somebody is not necessarily looking for coaching, they're not necessarily looking for how to be a coach or learn about coaching or know more about it, this could be a perfect individual course for them to take. I'm also hoping that maybe when they start taking the course and they see me teaching live, that they'll want to learn more from me, that they'll want to try out coaching. They'll want to ask questions. They'll want to get feedback, and they'll be able to do that for the same price by just simply upgrading to the membership. The next course that I offer in there is Entrepreneurial Management. And this is a course that I created with my colleague, Chris Plackey. We actually got together and she has been my coach, my management coach, my CEO coach for many years, and also one of my best friends. And everything that we developed together as I was building my business, we decided to put into a course. And this course is actually so extraordinary I've had so many of my colleagues and friends join Scholars just to access this course, because within it, I teach my whole hiring philosophy, how to write a job description, how to manage people, how to write what I call filters for communication within your organization, how to set up your values and standards, how to have a vision, how to communicate better. And it's all broken down into modules. Chris and I actually went to Napa and stayed at this beautiful winery and videoed all of the modules for this course. And we talk about the things that come up for people as they're building businesses and as they're trying to manage people within their entrepreneurial companies. And this course in and of itself, we could easily sell for $2,000. We're going to sell it for the $297 and give the full access to that course, and also offer the upgrade. If someone wants additional coaching or help with entrepreneurial management, they'll be able to upgrade to the membership. One of the things that could easily happen is somebody could buy the course How to Entrepreneur, then upgrade to Scholars, and then get entrepreneurial management and be able to have both of those courses for the exact same price, plus the support if they want it. The other course that goes along beautifully with that is Entrepreneurial Bookkeeping. This is a course that I created when my business was smaller. I created this with my bookkeeper. He had a process for managing my money that really helped me grow my money faster than I could have without him. And I asked him if he would help me create this course so we could help new entrepreneurs know how to set up their bookkeeping systems and the philosophy that we encourage them to have when they're approaching their businesses brand new. Again, this is a full solid course. We could charge $2,000 for it. It's full of modules. It took us weeks to create. That would also be an additional course that they could take for $297, or they could upgrade and get How to Entrepreneur, Entrepreneurial Management, and Entrepreneurial Bookkeeping, all for $297, including coaching. The next course that I pulled out to sell individually is How to Feel Better. And this was a course, it's actually really interesting. This is actually a 3-day workshop that I taught about all of the tools that are kind of the foundation of the Life Coach School. I spent a lot of time teaching the model and the supporting tools of the model in this course. And what I love about this course is that it was taught to a small group. I think there's maybe like 15 people in the entire course. And I teach all of the concepts over the 3 days, but then I also coach on them and answer questions. So this, I think, is kind of the closest anyone could get to a full broad spectrum education around my main tools. My tools on relationships, my tools on mind management, my tool on the model, of course, tools on, the manual and unconditional love, all of the main tenets of what we make sure our coaches understand. And we also want to make sure our students understand as they're navigating into the world. We had so much fun in this class live, and the feedback that I've gotten from this course is that people really love to watch it because we're having such a good time. There's lots of laughter, there's lots of joking, and they're able to learn all the tools. One of the things that's great about this course is that within this course are all the worksheets for all of the tools that I teach. It's a very thorough course. It's one of the first courses that I ever taught that I did charge $2,000 for. We sold it obviously as an in-person, and then afterwards we sold it as an online course that was very successful. It's one of our foundational courses. This is a course that I would send someone to that maybe was a podcast listener that wanted to take their work deeper, but wasn't sure that they wanted to join a membership. I might tell them to buy How to Feel Better. Again, my hope would be that they would get into that course and decide, wait, for the same amount of money, I can take this course and I can get coaching and I can watch people get coached and I can get help. A lot of you, I know, just want the one-on-one coaching. You don't necessarily want to attend the group coaching. And what's beautiful about buying this course for $297 and then upgrading maybe to the membership is that you could just take this course and get weekly coaching on what you're learning in that course. The next course that I pulled out was Monday Hour 1. And I think most of you know that Monday Hour 1 is my calendaring course. It's my course on how to get everything done. It's my course on how to manage your time and your priorities. It is my secret to how I get so much done in such a short amount of time, working so few hours. I work less hours than most people I know, and I get more done than more people I know. And Monday Hour 1 really references the first hour of your week and what should be done during that hour and how you actually set yourself up for success the rest of the week through your calendaring system and your time management system, and how to actually utilize the mind techniques that I teach and the mental stamina and resilience and determination that I teach to use your brain to actually get all your work done and produce results. There are so many amazing gems in that course. I taught that course with Tyson and Lauren, who were at the time employees working for me, and we utilized Monday Hour 1 in our business, and we decided that we wanted to create a course so we could give it to our new employees so they can understand how we run things around here. And we have since sold hundreds of these courses to our students. This is also already in Self-Coaching Scholars for those of you who are in there. But for those of you who just wanted to have Monday Hour 1, we're now selling it for $297 on the website. And again, with the hopes that you'll want to upgrade for the same amount and get one-on-one coaching or group coaching or more support with that. The next course that I pulled out was one of the most successful campaigns that we have ever done in the history of the Life Coach School. And it's called the Urge Jar. And it's kind of an interesting story. I went to my team and I said, I had this idea on a walk today. And it was interesting because I was in a situation where I'd gained a little bit of weight and I wanted to lose some. And so I was going to utilize this idea that came to me about having an urge jar. And I wanted to create a jar that I could use in order to count my urges. And those of you who know my weight loss program, we talk a lot about the urge to overeat and how to manage that urge. And when you can learn to manage your urges and you can learn to overcome your primitive brain with your prefrontal cortex, you can literally change your life in every area where you may be buffering. And I wasn't sure if this course could stand alone without the overeating courses that I teach. And so I went and listened to the webinars that I taught to sell this course. And then I also listened to the course. And I know this sounds crazy, but I was blown away with how well we had done this course and how thorough it was and how well we taught it and how effective it was. We still have students telling us about their urge jars and how effective it was for them to lose weight. At the time, we were actually sending urge jars out. This was before COVID. We were sending urge jars out, which was basically just a clear jar with our logo on it with these beautiful glass marble beads that we were using to count and manage urges. So we don't send those out anymore, but we really recommend that you go and buy a beautiful jar at maybe Michael's or Target and get some beads to be able to do this process. If you're wanting to lose weight or stop biting your nails or stop watching too much social media and you have a lot of urges, this is one of the best programs I have ever created for that. Again, we're selling it on the site for $297, which is insane. And you can upgrade to the membership for the same price and get all the support that you need. The next course that I just referenced was Stop Overeating. And this course is the one that comes with the full workbook. This is a workshop that I taught live, and it was one where we had some of the most extraordinary success stories. It's all of my overeating tools, all the neurochemistry, all the mental work, all the urge work that we need to do, presented with nutritional ideas and the sugar and flour issues and all the hormonal issues, all of the things that I knew I accumulated into one class, into one workbook, and taught over a few days. We recorded the whole thing and made it into a course. Of all my foundational courses, this one is the basics of everything you need to know in order to lose weight, and not just the physical side of things, but also the mental side of things. One of the things that's beautiful about being in Self-Coaching Scholars is you get Stop Overeating and you get the urge jar, and you also can get Stop Overeating Masterclass, which I'll talk about in a minute. Those 3 courses have changed more people's weight than anything I've ever done. And one of the things that people have said to me is that when they go in to Scholars, they just start with Stop Overeating, then they go to the urge jar, then they go to Stop Overeating Masterclass. And one of the things, there is some overlap with those courses, but one of the things that they've said is just getting it into their brain, hearing other people be coached on it, being able to get coached on it, being able to utilize the tools that I teach in those courses, and hearing them over and over, like in their head, downloading them and playing them on Audible while they're taking walks, has made all the difference in their ability to lose weight. I also pulled out the course Stop Overdrinking, which is kind of the sister course to Stop Overeating. What's amazing about the Stop Overdrinking class is I created it at the same time I was teaching Stop Overeating Masterclass. So I want to talk about both these courses at once because it's important. When I decided to do a high level, expensive, high touch Stop Overeating class, I decided to sell it for $12,000. And I wanted to make a class that was unsurpassed in quality and in coaching and in community connection. So I wanted to create a group small enough. So I did groups of 10 small enough so I could work with my students individually throughout the week and give them coaching and feedback and look at their food journals. While I was teaching that class, and that was a very successful class, we had a lot of people join that class. And because it was a high ticket class, the people in that class were very committed and very focused and insanely motivated. Katrina Ubell, who many of you know as our very exceptional doctor who is now turned life coach, now teaching doctors how to lose weight. She was one of the students that joined that Stop Overeating Masterclass, and she lost her weight during that class. But the interesting thing about that, when I was teaching that class, I wanted to stop drinking Chardonnay. I was over drinking wine at night, and I wanted to stop doing it. So what I did is while I was teaching Stop Overeating Masterclass, I created Stop Overdrinking. I used many of the same tools to manage my urges and to manage my mind and to create a plan and a drink plan, but I applied it all to drinking. I taught that class, Stop Overdrinking, as a separate membership. And one of the cool things about that class is I did calls once a week where people could call in anonymously and ask me any question that they had about their drinking. And we put all of those calls within this class as well. That class comes with a book and a workbook as well. The other classes that I taught in there's 2 more that I pulled out of Scholars. One is called Money, Beliefs and Goals, and the other one is called Money. And again, both of those classes are sold individually for $297. You can go to the site. One of the most obvious questions that I get all the time is, how do you make so much money? How can I make as much money as you? Why do I have so many hangups about money? How can I overcome my money beliefs? How can I believe in my goals? How can I believe in my money goals? How can I undo all of my money programming? And these courses, Money, Beliefs, and Goals, really talks mostly about your goals in terms of belief systems and what you want to create and how to help yourself believe that that is possible for you. And I teach you the process on how to do that so you can be more aligned with your goals and take action to get to those goals. And then the other course on money really helps unwind what's already going on in your brain on money and how you may not even be conscious of that. And again, what's so amazing about this is you can come buy my class on money. And if you love it, then you can upgrade to the membership and get Money, Beliefs, and Goals for the exact same price, no additional money. And hopefully, my ultimate hope is that you won't cancel your membership after a month and that you'll stay on board and want to take the other courses and want to keep growing with me and want to keep coaching with me and want to keep developing yourself. It's my belief that once someone takes one of my courses, they will understand how unique I am in the way that I teach. And they'll understand how the way I approach life, the way I approach coaching, the way I approach growth is very different than anyone out there right now teaching that isn't one of my students. And so I wanted to create and reinvent the marketing for self-coaching scholars to give everyone an opportunity to have a taste of some of these courses. And the last thing we decided to do as a team was to start offering individual private coaching. So you are able to come to the site now and enroll and get a private coaching session. You can get one private coaching session if you want to try it out. It's just between you and the coach and you can see what you like. And my hope is that if you love it, that you will then sign up for Self-Coaching Scholars and get more coaching sessions for the same price. I am overwhelmed with what I've created in my business, with the amount of content that I've been able to display for all of you, to teach to all of you, that all incorporates my belief system when it comes to the model and the usefulness of the model in our lives for solving problems and creating amazing solutions. So I am absolutely thrilled to offer you now all of these courses individually. If you are fascinated or interested in how I'm doing this reinvention program, please come join us in the reinvention class. There is so much to be learned, so much upper level work that we're doing there. We are breaking through ceilings. We are going to the next level and we're recreating things that are way better than they used to be because of how much more knowledge we have and how much more understanding we have of what is actually possible. If you're interested in these courses, you can simply go to thelifecoachschool.com and look through them, look at the descriptions. I recorded a video on each one and learn from the content that I have created and change your life. That is the best indicator of whether the additional classes and the additional coaching will be helpful to you. And I know that if you apply yourself, you will get the results that you want. Have a beautiful week, everyone. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Hey, if you enjoy listening to this podcast, you have to come check out Self-Coaching Scholars. It's my monthly coaching program where we take all this material and we apply it. We take it to the next level and we study it. Join me over at thelifecoachschool.com/join. Make sure you type in the lifecoachschool.com/join. I'd love to have you join me in Self-Coaching Scholars. See you there.